Hello, I wanted to kind of go over a little bit on what to do if a loved one passes away and you are responsible for taking care of the property that they may still have. So there's a couple of different things that has to happen. First of all, is the property still in the loved one's name? So a lot of times that's the case where we look up on the Highlands County Property Appraiser and we see that it's still in father's name, let's say. So that's the first step, is we ask, has probate happened? So a lot of times we get the response, no, there's a will and dad willed it to me. So that doesn't give you the right to sell it, unfortunately. So depending on if there was a will, if probate has happened, if no will, there's all different kinds of protocols. So I'm going to kind of go over with you some of the things in this video so you can kind of get a lay of the land and know what you got to do. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is called a Ladybird Deed, or it's also called an Enhanced Life Estate Deed. So before someone passes away, they can designate the property to go to you, for example, after their death. And there's no probate that has to happen on that. It's quick and easy and awesome. You have to submit the death certificate afterwards, and then the property goes into your name. Easy peasy, right? So the other kind of cool thing is this Ladybird Deed is revocable. So if you say have designated the deed to go to so-and-so and you change your mind, you can do that, and that's one of the cool things about that. So if you've got property in other states, this is a really good way to do it without having your loved one have to pay a bunch of taxes or do a bunch of probate stuff, I should say. So the next thing is, okay, say there's a will. If the will is designated, the daughter gets the land or whatever. So they would then have to start the probate process. So if they lived in Indiana, the probate process would start in Indiana, in the county that they resided. If they owned land here, the attorney would work with the probate attorney in Indiana, shuffling documents back and forth, and probate would also have to happen here. So you know. Now, if there was no will and you just kind of are wanting to get things going, the first thing that has to happen is a personal representative of the estate is assigned. So say that's going to be you. Court order has to happen and putting all the control of everything for you to handle. And then also a court order has to happen allowing you to sell the property. So this process takes different amounts of time depending on what county you're in. Highlands County right now is moving pretty fast. You should be able to have this accomplished in about 2 months, maybe less. The whole probate process, depending on how many assets and all that kind of stuff, it could take a long time, but at least you know you could sell the property. Even if there isn't a will, you just have to go through that process. Now, to make things a lot easier for everybody, it's a good idea to go ahead and put your wishes known in a will. You can contact an attorney, one that handles estate planning. And there's all kinds of different things, but a simple will cost you $200 to $300, and you've got your wishes known and you got that checked off the list, and you've made things a lot easier for your family. If there's property all over the place and a lot of different assets to handle, it might be a little more time consuming, but financially for your loved ones and tax purposes and all that, it's a good idea to have it done too, because there's so many different little things. Whether you gift property before you pass away, or if the property is inherited, that could dramatically, you could have a $200,000 capital gains tax if you gifted it to your loved one, or they could, where they wouldn't have near that much if they inherited it. So life estate planning is super important, and it's a good thing to do, even if you don't have a lot of assets. It's just a good thing to do. So let's see, there was a couple other things I wanted. Oh, so keeping a binder. So just think about if your loved one, or say you passed away, would anybody know what your social media account password is? Would anybody know who your monthly utility bills are, or where your mortgage payment goes? It's a good idea to keep a binder somewhere, whether it's a boyfriend or a best friend. A lot of people live down here by themselves, so something easily found and can take care of all this stuff in one easy step. Not only is it nice for them, but for you, it's a nice little recap of all the things that you have, or, you know, hey, maybe your life insurance policy has lapsed and you didn't even realize it. Or maybe you make a lot more money and you have a lot more assets from when you set up your life insurance policy 10 years ago. And all this stuff can be kind of gone through. Some other things to keep in there would be like titles to vehicles, any mortgages or deeds that you might have. Maybe even who your favorite pastor is, or the funeral home that you want. This is all important to keep in one little spot. And there's lots, if you Google, there's lots of different places, or you can Google all kinds of different ideas so you don't miss anything that should be in your binder. Okay, so the last thing is, I've given you very important information, and it's important to take action now. So don't wait on it. Either schedule a time in your calendar where you're going to make a phone call to an estate planner. A really, really good one that we use a lot for advice around here is Mike Ryder. Ryder and Thompson here in town of Lake Placid. They can be reached at 863-465-1111. And just let them know that you watched my video and that you are wanting to start estate planning. If you have a property to sell, you can start the process with us too. We would love to help you. We've helped a lot of people in that scenario. Our phone number is 863-446-0908, and look forward to talking to you on our next video.